Moving to a 55 plus complex? What are the pros and cons of living in a 55 plus complex? Welcome back. My name is Catherine Larkin. I'm with Century 21 Real Estate Champions, the TomKat Team. And today we are going to discuss the pros and cons of living in a 55 plus or retirement complex. However, before we get started, please hit the subscribe button. Tom and I, we try to put out fun and interesting videos every Tuesday for TomKat Tuesday. So you want to make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, you may not always agree with every pro and con. What I think and what my research may say could be completely different than what you might think. So really, pros and cons, it really true does depend on you, the consumer, what you find is pros and cons. Number one, the number one pro that we all can think of is amenities. Since we have so many people that have moved to St. Petersburg, Pinellas County from other states, living in a 55 plus complex or community is a great way to build relationships, to have a community, to get to know friends and people around your own age, and then to also gravitate with people that have the same kind of likes and dislikes. For example, if you like to play tennis or pickleball, you're going to want to make sure you find a complex that has that. What about shuffleboard? What about swimming? What about swim aerobics? Some complexes offer that as well. Then there are the inside, there are clubhouses. There's quite a few complexes that Tom and I have sold in that they offer spaghetti dinners, dance lessons, a community of fun and excitement, cards, billiards, all sorts of fun things to do. The Red Hatters. Then there's also, of course, book clubs, political clubs. So living in a 55 plus community is really great when it can give you the opportunity to really get to know and become friends with your neighbors. Number two is community maintenance. Most associations have a monthly maintenance fee or an HOA fee. Now, stay tuned to the cons because we're going to talk about price points when it comes to those fees. But most of the fees and most of the associations, it does include the maintenance of the grounds, the clubhouse, the shuffleboard, the roads. So what's really good about these fees is that it is easy living, low maintenance. If you like to travel, one of the wonderful things about living in these communities is you just lock your doors and leave. You don't have to worry about mowing. You don't have to worry about the maintenance of the outside of the building. What's great is that within the fees that you pay, these are usually taken care of. So you don't really need to worry about it. So it makes retiring easy, breezy, a great way to be. Now you may like the third pro, which is peace and quiet. A lot of people like to move into a 55 plus complex because you really are not expecting your neighbors to be partying all night long and making a ruckus. Hello. So a lot of people do like the 55 plus complexes because usually it's a lot quieter, a lot easier way of living. And there's usually hardly any kids. Now, kids, yes, grandkids, family, they are allowed to visit. Hello, don't we want our family to visit? Well, if you don't, I guess that's a different video. But for the most part, yes, we want the kids to visit us. but depending on where you move to, there may be a limit on how many times grandkids, adult kids, or visitors can come and visit. One of the good things is that usually in these 55 plus complexes, these kids, and I'm talking kids, teenagers, they're not allowed to go to the pool without the owner that lives there, or at least permission, because not every condo complex is going to allow family and visitors there on a regular basis without at least checking in on them. So for the most part, you don't have to worry about young kids or teenagers running around, because it is a 55 plus complex and it is geared for the senior population. The first con is all of the fees. Normally there is a monthly maintenance fee that can range anywhere from around $200 on up, and I mean up to around $600, $700, or $800 depending on the community. Some associations have an HOA or homeowners association fee as well as a monthly maintenance fee. This may be because the condo complex is located within a master association that houses many condos and single-family homes. So there is a fee that covers the master association. Some condos even have a land lease fee. Basically, it means you own the condo, but not the land the condo sits on. So you pay a fee to the leasing company. Be sure to contact me, because I can let you know which condos have an additional land lease fee or HOA in Pinellas County. It is very important before you sign on the dotted line to buy that property, you need to make sure you understand how much these fees are. For example, if you're working from home and you need high-speed internet and you like a lot of these cable channels, well, that's usually an extra charge. So you need to make sure you understand what these fees are, especially if you're buying into a property with a mortgage. You know you're going to have your mortgage payment plus your taxes and insurance, and now your monthly maintenance fees on top of it. So really make sure you do your due diligence and you know exactly what these fees are for and how often do these fees go up. Is this a well-managed association? The second for cons is all of the rules. Now, having the rules are kind of nice, so it could be a pro for you, but you need to really make sure you understand what the rules are before you move into these communities. For example, there may be a pet rule. You may not be able to bring little Fluffy with you, so you want to make sure that you purchase a unit or a home in a community that allows pets. So you may not be able to bring a pet. If you can bring a pet, there may be a weight limit, a type of pet, and how many pets. I don't know about you, but I love my Chaska. I love my kitty cat. I want to make sure I live in a place that I'm allowed to have a cat. Unfortunately, I can only have one, and I got her as a comfort cat. We'll talk about that in another video. A 55 plus complex means there has to be at least one adult that is 55 years or older. The spouse or adult child may be able to move in if they're not 55, but you have to check the rules and regulations. There are some complexes here in Pinellas County that states that you cannot even live in the property unless you are at least 55 years of age be rental restrictions. You want to make sure you are really careful on what the rental restrictions are. So if you're seasonal and you're not quite ready to live here full time, maybe the months that you're not in Florida, you may want to rent it. You need to know about that ahead of time because some of them do not allow rentals. And then what about first right of refusal? Sometimes some associations, the association has a right to purchase the unit. So there's all these restrictions that you need to know. Some of the restrictions are really good. They really help keep the quality of the units, of the buildings up. But then you want to make sure that the rules are okay with your lifestyle. The third con could definitely be the resale. If, let's say, you need to sell the unit, you need to make sure that you understand what the resale restrictions are. If you are buying a unit or a home in a community that is a 55 plus complex, then obviously you have to sell it to that consumer. If you are in a complex where it's a second floor walk up with no elevator, you need to take that into consideration. Will somebody, as they are aging in place, feel comfortable with walking up a flight of stairs? Or if some of the restrictions are that all owners have to be over the age of 55, well, all of these affect the resale. So you have to take that into consideration when you go to want to sell the unit. What if you want to leave your property to your heirs? Well, that's when you need to make sure that you have really read and understand the rules and restrictions, because your children can inherit the property, but they may not be able to live in the property until they are at least of the age 55. Not all complexes are like that, but some are. So you need to make sure that you are okay with those rules and regulations, which also affect the resale value. Living in a 55 plus community really is and can be quite enjoyable. You just need to make sure you are fully aware of all the pros and all the cons before you make a move into that unit. If you would like more information about which communities are 55 and what the rules and regulations are, well, make sure to contact me. Tom and I will gladly get in touch with you, and perhaps we can help guide you to a great community for you. Tom and I love living in a 55 plus complex. We actually have chosen Sea Towers. Sea Towers is located on the Madeira Beach waterway, and there are so many great activities there for us. We love living there, and we love selling at Sea Towers. If you would like to know a little bit more about Sea Towers, then take a look at this upcoming video. It's all about what Sea Towers has to offer. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. Tom and I, we put out fun and interesting videos every Tuesday for TomKat Tuesday. Please remember, Tom and I, we sell paradise in Pinellas.